Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the Southern Route. I am your host, Shannon Courier. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome in. I am so happy to have you here. If you are already familiar with the Southern Route, welcome back. I hope everybody had a happy Halloween. Our neighborhood was a little bit light on trick or treaters this year, but we sure saw some cuties that came by the house. And of course, the bad part of having fewer trick or treaters is I have bags of candy left in my house, and that is not on my diet because I'm trying to cut back on my sugar intake. So, how is everyone doing tonight? I have some special guests with me tonight. I have Hunter Wilson and Gabriel Massey from the Big Rig Coffee Company. Some of you guys and ladies may have heard of them already, but if you haven't, we've got some exciting information to share with you because who doesn't like to talk about coffee? Doesn't your life revolve around coffee? Mine does. All right, welcome in. Thanks for joining me, Gabe and Hunter.
Hey, thank you for
Hey,
having
how's
us
it
on.
going?
Well, tell us where y'all are and tell us how Halloween went for you all.
I didn't go trick or treating or anything, sadly, but I've been great. Just out here in Phoenix, Arizona, enjoying the somewhat cold weather. And Gabe, he's out in Tucson now.
Yeah, I'm out in Tucson. It was pretty cold down here for Halloween. We had a few trick or treaters around here, but we had just moved into the apartment, so we didn't have any. We forgot to get candy for them, so we had to like rush to go get some last minute candy from Target. So it was fun though. It was really fun. Good. It was like a really good time.
Oh
Did you
wow.
give out coffee samples?
No, I don't think parents would like that, but I wish. I was
We
like,
don't.
I'll tell my girlfriend. I'm like, next kid that comes to the door, I'm just giving him a bag of Big Rig. Just
You should have set up a table for those parents that had to walk their kids around on Halloween night and said, "Hey, we have some coffee samples for you. Here, we have Big Rig coffee."
that's a good idea, actually. That's
No,
a that's a really
that's
good
a really
idea.
good idea. Should have done that. Shit.
No.
Full of ideas, full of ideas. Hey, you can think of it around Christmas. I don't know if y'all have any kind of neighborhood open houses or anything at Christmas, but you could share some Big Rig coffee at Christmas time, or hey, give it back to your um, mail carrier or your UPS driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
we
Yeah.
try to do like donations as much as we can. Like, I think just it was a few months ago. We just like went to I think it was a Love's, and we just like walked up to a random trucker. We're like, hey man, like you drink coffee? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, here you go. And we just gave him a bag, and
We
took
talked
it
for a little bit.
talked to him a little bit, and then it was really cool, like just to be able to do that kind of stuff. So we definitely want to be setting up booths in the future like that. Like the Arizona State Fair came a little bit ago, and we were trying to get into that, but they were pretty booked up. But um, yeah, we're just trying to kind of spread out as much as we can at different events and just get our name out there as much as possible.
That's so cool. I love it. I love giving out free samples. Word of mouth is your best advertisement.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hmm.
Well, we kind of just jumped into talking about Big Rig Coffee like everybody knows what it is, because if you don't, it should be a household name by now,
Exactly.
right? 6 months in, it should be a household name. That's what we're saying. So this is Hunter Wilson and Gabriel Massey. They are the entrepreneurs behind Big Rig Coffee, if you haven't heard of it. Their stated mission to provide the best quality coffee, apparel, and service to the truck drivers of America. Well, we know truck drivers run on coffee and diesel fuel, and most of us four wheelers run on coffee too. I mean, how many times do you run through your local coffee shop, or you're figuring out how to make it at home less expensive than you can run through your coffee shop? So that's what you have for us. You have some awesome coffee. And tell us about starting this company. What was it like? How did this idea come about? Why did you decide on coffee?
Okay. So the idea came back almost 1 year ago. It's been almost a year ago because 1 year ago I was deployed in Africa. And I was just, me and Gabe were communicating a lot. We kind of seen the stress that was being put on the trucking community. So I was just thinking, because I was in my tent all night, just bored, thinking of what kind of business idea I could start. And then my dad's a trucker. That kind of clicked. And then I was like, for something, no, I'm not even kidding. Like out of nowhere, Big Rig Coffee Company hit. And it just made complete sense right when I thought of it. And I got online. I was like, this has to already be a thing. I got on Big Rig Coffee Company and it was not taken. And I'm like, contacted Gabe immediately. I'm like, dude, Big Rig Coffee Company, for truckers. And then that's how it started coming about. And then we've been pushing for almost a whole year now.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's been almost a year. That's actually really crazy.
Yeah, it's December.
Wow. So when you're sitting in your tent out there in Africa, do y'all have coffee? Did you have coffee out there?
Yeah, we had Black Rifle Coffee. That's like the big military coffee company.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Familiar with that. Is it just black
they
hardcore
have,
coffee?
they have a little bit of everything out for Black Rifle. Yeah, they're definitely a well-established brand.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, it's good to know you actually had some coffee out there.
Yeah.
I guess military guys run on coffee too, right?
That's exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I was drinking like at least 2 cups a day, like out there, just like because you're on a shift for like 12 hours a day. So like I'm like, hey, come in, get some coffee, and then like probably about halfway, 8 hours through, I'm like, yeah, I need a little boost. So like at one point I remember like I didn't even care like what coffee I was drinking. I was just throwing it in the Keurig or throwing it in the mug, and I was just like, I just need some caffeine just to keep going. So yeah, it was definitely what kept me going out there.
And that's what most of us do. Coffee keeps a lot of us going. It's the first thing we do in the mornings. I mean, I'm not a breakfast eater. I get up and I have a cup of coffee, and then I won't eat till probably 11 o'clock, and I just run on coffee until time for lunch.
Yeah, I do the same thing sometimes. Like I just like I don't know. I drink coffee like pretty consistently every morning now. Like it's rare that I'm not drinking coffee. Like either like I'm really not in the mood, but it's usually I'm drinking some coffee. So I get that.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because my whole life I've never been a coffee drinker. I always, when I got up in the morning, I would drink Dr. Pepper. That's what I drank all through high school and everything. Dr. Pepper and combos, you know, those snacks, the little combos, the pretzels with the cheese in the middle. That was my breakfast probably my entire high school career. On my way to school, I'd stop for Dr. Pepper and combos. And so about right before we moved here to Alabama, we've been here 7 years. I came down to stay with my best friend because I grew up down here, and we were looking for a house. And she said, "Do you want some coffee?" And I said, "You know, I don't drink coffee. You know that." She said, "Yeah, but I've got this turtle coffee, this turtle flavored coffee." And it was from World Market. And I was like, "Well, I'll give it a try. Sure, why not? I've tried every other flavor." Well, I loved it. I got hooked on that coffee. I went back home. I was drinking like a pot or two a day by myself of this coffee.
Dang.
Well, then I realized that's an awful lot of caffeine, right? And so I was like, I should go get decaf. So I go buy the decaf, and then the next day, horrible headache because I'd been drinking, you know, 2 pots of coffee for weeks. And I had to do half and half, wean myself off of it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, once you get used to drinking coffee, you kind of can drink just about any kind of coffee. And so now I'm a coffee drinker. I'll drink any kind of coffee as long as it's got creamer in it because I like a little coffee with my creamer. And so now I'm all about the coffee. I have to have my coffee first thing in the morning, just something nice and hot. And I got my bag of Big Rig coffee, and I'm enjoying every sip of it, by the way.
Awesome. I love it.
So that's what we like to
Awesome.
That's what we like to hear.
That's what we aim for. We hope everyone loves it.
I think everybody will love it. So why you have a connection in the trucking industry? You said your dad was a truck driver?
So my dad's been a truck driver on and off for the past like 30 years. So he took like an 11-year break, and then now he's been trucking for probably like the past 10 years now for McLean. He's never been like an over the road or he wasn't like an over the road guy. He's just like a regional. So he really sticks around like Chicago, all of Illinois, up near like Grand Rapids, Michigan, just pretty much the whole Midwest. So yeah, he's been doing that for longer than I've been around. So
you're familiar with the industry somewhat.
Yeah, he's definitely, as I was growing up, he was definitely away a lot for sure, not over the road, but like just away constantly. So yeah.
Well, that's what drivers do. They spend days, weeks, and sometimes months on the road, right?
Yes, exactly.
And they have to figure out a way to have those comforts of home in the truck, and coffee is probably one of those things that they look for first. How do I get my coffee while I'm on the road?
Yeah,
exactly.
That's awesome. Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break, but we have a lot more to cover here on the Southern Route. We'll be right back here on TNCradio.live.
You're listening to TNCRadio.live. Remember to tune into the Truckers Network radio show with Shelley Johnson, weekdays at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern.
As a professional driver, the engineers at Front Lane know that you remain focused on the road regardless of weather and traffic conditions. That's not always true of the drivers behind you. Every 9 minutes, another commercial vehicle is rear-ended by a driver failing to control their speed. And guess who gets the blame? When you have to brake quickly, Tailbone illuminates a series of bright red LED lights that allow the driver behind you to react up to 50% faster. Using amazing accelerometer technology and a battery that will last for years, Tailbone meets the standard set by the NHTSA and the FMCSA. Learn more by visiting www.frontlane.com/tailbone. That's www.frontlane.com/tailbone. Approved in all 50 states, it's Tailbone by Front Lane.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Claire Dunn, and you're listening to TNCRadio.live.
Hey, rideshare drivers and gig economy workers, the host of TNC Radio.live, the Rideshare Rodeo Podcast, and the Gig Economy Podcast come together for news, talk, music, stories, laughs, and more. We're live Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, right here on TNC Radio.live.
Hey guys, we're back here on the Southern Route. We're talking to Gabe and Hunter from Big Rig Coffee. So you guys are a veteran-owned company. You guys are Air Force veterans, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Awesome. So tell me what you learned from being in the Air Force that you have transitioned over and incorporated into creating and running your own company.
It's a really good question. So I was in the Air Force for about 5 years. I was overseas for a majority of that. And the one thing I can compare it to is just when you're overseas like that, you have to really rely on like your teammates, and like they really like become family out there because you're so far away from your family. So you have to learn to like work as a team with these people, and you can't get that mission done without these people. And so like obviously me and Hunter and our third party Tucker, you know, we're a family in this Big Rig coffee company. So we're working together here to do our mission, which is, you know, bring the best coffee to like the best truckers. You know what I mean? So it all kind of intertwines with each other. And it's definitely something I'm thankful I learned, you know.
Yeah, it's been definitely a learning process, and our team is really close knit. We're always on a video chat together talking about our next plan with Big Rig, and we actually just had like a 2-hour call last night, and yeah, we're all super close. So
well, there are a lot of military veterans in the trucking industry, and I've heard a lot of them say there's a big correlation. When you're in the military, you have a mission, you have something that you need to complete. There's a mission to complete, start to finish, and you have to be diligent and, you know, depending on your own strength, but you do have a team, you have to depend on other people. And there's a lot of correlation to that in the trucking industry, delivering a load. You've got to get there, you got to, you know, map out your time, you got to use your time, you got to use your clock, you've got to use your GPS to get where you're going, you know, make sure you're taking the right routes, the safest routes. And then your delivery is completing your mission. And it's just every single day, it's kind of that same mentality and that same mindset. And so many people from the military that come in, you know, you all have a professionalism about you that you take into the trucking industry. And I really think it has helped, I won't say elevate the trucking industry, because truck drivers are always professional. They've always been professional, but they haven't always been seen as professional.
Yeah, right.
And I think so many military people coming into the industry and bringing the professionalism with them and the talk about the military people in the industry has really helped elevate the respect for the industry.
Mm-hmm.
That's super important, like what you were saying, like veterans, keeping that professionalism is they're leaving the military with that like instilled in them, and they're bringing it into the trucking industry, which they need to be, very attentive to where they're going, making sure that their load is secure. It's worrying about the little things, that way they can do the job and they can keep America running. So it's a great transition from military to trucker, because they're still able to keep that sense of purpose after the military, which putting food on the table, keeping people's roofs over their heads, or what have you. So it's a really good transition for sure.
But yeah, for sure, I agree.
Awesome. So tell me when you guys officially launched. I mean, I know this. I don't want to speak for you, so I'm asking questions that I already know the answer to because of our connection to St. Christopher Fund, and we'll talk about that in a minute, just to share what the connection is. But when did you guys officially launch, and how are sales looking a few months in?
Okay, we officially, it was like June-ish?
I want to say like June 19th.
On June 19th is when we officially launched. Sales were pretty steady for like, I'd say, that whole month.
Yeah.
And now it's like, it's starting to slow down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's because we haven't really been pushing much marketing, because we're getting a commercial made right now.
Oh.
So we're in the works of making a super sweet commercial that should be hopefully done. What is today? By the end of the month. So the commercial, and then we're going to do another big push with that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And you guys just did a giveaway as well.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, actually. That was a lot of fun.
That was our first like social media giveaway that we did. I really enjoyed that one a lot.
That was actually a lot of fun. Like the engagement was actually really good on that. Like from all platforms, like people were just super, super engaged, and I was like, dang, like it was awesome.
Well, people like fun giveaways. They like free stuff, and they like
free stuff.
Who doesn't like free coffee?
Exactly. Yeah, and it was a free coffee and a hat. Was it a hat and a coffee?
Hat and a coffee, yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. So you guys have merchandise too, so people can help spread the word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got our hats are really nice, actually. They're really, really nice.
That's what I'm wearing right now. I love it. I wear it
in my car right now, but yeah, I love that hat though, and the hoodie's super comfortable. I'm washing it right now, but I would have it on, but hoodie's super comfortable. Like I wear it to the gym, and just kind of like, it's just like kind of like that little cover shirt outside in the cold here. The hat, it's like it's comfortable. It fits perfect. It's nice. It's really nice.
The hoodie's my favorite. I love the hoodie. I wear that thing everywhere.
Yeah, it is really comfy.
Super comfy.
Well, I know y'all can't see the guys, listeners, but I can see them, and Hunter's got the hoodie on, and I'll tell you what I like about it just by looking at it. I like that the neck has got the little kind of a cut looking thing right there, because sweatshirts, hoodies, for me, I love hoodies, but so many of them don't have that, and they sit, they feel like you're choking you a lot of times, and I can't stand that. And so I love like the little cut part there and the hoodie. So I'm gonna have to go order me a hoodie.
Really nice. It's time of the year, need a hoodie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's that time of year. Of course, I'm in Alabama, and it's still 80 degrees here, so it might be another month before I can wear a hoodie for too long, but we're gonna get there. So I'll tell you, all the listeners, what the connection is with Big Rig Coffee, other than just it's an awesome company and we want to support it. But everybody knows that I work for St. Christopher Fund, and I'm the director of philanthropy there. And Hunter and Gabe, when they decided to start this company from the get-go, their mindset was to give back to the industry that they were promoting their product in. And so they had not even launched the product, had not even sold a single bag of coffee. And they were like, how can we give back? And so they found us and reached out and said, hey, we want to donate $1 for every bag sold back to St. Christopher Fund to support drivers that need assistance. Would you guys want to partner with us on this? And absolutely, we did and do, and we are excited about that and thankful that you guys wanted to give back and appreciate that mindset. So many people wait until they've made all this money, and then they say, well, now we want to give back. And so you guys just jumped in with that mindset from the very beginning. And I think that says a lot about you guys, your thought process, and how you want to run your company.
Exactly. Yeah. And we realized that it's going to take from like our profits, obviously donating, but that doesn't really matter to us. So our whole mission is to give back to the trucking community, even if it means taking from our profits in the beginning. So that was our whole mission, and we're following through with it.
Well, and I think, the whole thought process of the more you give, the more you receive, I really do believe in that.
Me too. Yeah, I agree.
So tell me what you have available right now. Do you have just one roast available at the moment?
Unfortunately, we only have one roast. I wish we had a million different roasts, but we have our I-95 straight medium roast. That's what we called it. And then we have our new roast coming out, which I showed Shannon. It's our liquid diesel. You can see previews on our social media. That's going to be our stronger coffee. I actually have the tasting notes right here for you guys.
Yeah. We've actually never publicly released this either. So this is everyone listening, this is a first time hearing
Breaking news on the Southern Route. Breaking news.
Breaking news.
No better place to tell everyone. Okay, so our tasting notes are going to be smoky raspberry. It's going to be dark chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be.
I've actually tasted. We got some samples of it, and it's really, really good. It's really, really good. So it's definitely a lot stronger than our medium roast, but it gives you that little bit of kick. I think I was drinking some on the way to an appointment, and I was just I was wired the whole way. I was I think I ended up calling Hunter. I was like, bro, this stuff is crazy. I was just, my hand was kind of shaking a little bit. I just wasn't used to it. I was used to just drinking our medium roast, and yeah, it was definitely a kick for sure.
Yeah, this one has more caffeine in it. That's what we told him, something a little bit more caffeinated. So I don't recommend drinking 2 pots of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to drive shaking, when your hands are shaking on the wheel. That's going to make it a little difficult to drive.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so liquid diesel, that's going to launch when?
2023, beginning of 2023. Don't
so
have the
cool.
exact date yet, but we'll release that soon.
Yeah.
Chocolate and raspberry hints.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know that it can get any better than that. Who doesn't like chocolate and raspberry?
Exactly.
I know, right?
Oh, awesome. Okay, so there you got it. Breaking news, liquid diesel coming in 2023. We're going to hop out and take a quick break on tncradio.live. We'll be right back.
This is Heath Sanders, and you're listening to tncradio.live.
Hi, I'm Hope Savara. Join us every Monday on TNC Radio Live at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's Building Strong Minds.
Hi, I'm Dr. Christopher Cortman, and now for the Mental Health Minute. I'd like to talk to you about control and about cheese. A patient of mine, 84 years old, was talking about her daughter's marriage and her son-in-law and how upset sometimes she gets just watching them. And I said, the kids have a riddle today. What do you call cheese that isn't yours? And the answer, of course, is nacho cheese. And she laughed and said, oh, I get it. I said, yeah. The only thing that's yours to control is what you think, say, and do. Not your daughter's husband, not their marriage, not their relationship. Sometimes we need to just focus on the stuff we get to fix, change, or control. And if it doesn't fall in that category, it's nacho cheese.
Hope Savara here. Tune in every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on tncradio.live for my new show, The Driver Life Podcast. From your feet to the food you eat, from cellular health to how your cell phone affects your health, from how you move to improving your sleep. I believe it's the small, simple changes that lead to the big results in your life so that you can feel good again. We cover it all here on the Driver Life Podcast. It's every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern on tncradio.live.
Okay, guys, we're back here on tncradio.live. We are continuing the conversation with Gabe and Hunter from Big Rig Coffee. You just heard the breaking announcement of liquid diesel in 2023. They have some sneak peeks over on their social media platform and on their website on what is to come in 2023. It got some high caffeine in it, as we were talking and laughing during the break. Might not be your coffee of choice right before you go do your DOT physical.
Yeah. It's sweating, shaking. It's not a good. It wasn't a good time at first, but I like it now. My body's used to it now. But that first time, I was jittering a little bit.
That's funny.
It'll keep you awake and hopping out there on the road. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me what you guys envision for Big Rig Coffee. What do you see like a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now? Do you have a plan? What are your hopes and dreams for this company?
So I noticed one of our like downfalls is like obviously we're geared towards truckers, but truckers are driving, and a lot of them don't have like a coffee pot in their truck or like a Keurig or something like that. So I noticed that as like one thing that we need to try to start getting into truck stops. So I've been contacting a bunch of truck stops. The hard part about that is we're a startup.
Yeah.
But that's where I envision us as soon as possible, is being in like a truck stop somewhere.
Yeah. We've even played with the idea of like, hey, it's not no contracts or anything like that, but just let us just be in the store and just see how it does for maybe the first 6 months, because we've been into, I'm not gonna say any names, we've been into other truck stops, and the coffee bags that they've had there have dust all over them. People aren't touching them, but I don't feel like they really appeal to truckers and just people that come through the door on the day to day. So if we can just get in there and we get like a nice stand with some liquid diesel and just have it pop to the people, I think it's going to be a real game changer.
Yeah, I think liquid diesel would do great inside of a truck stop, just because it has extra go-go juice that's on the bag. So liquid diesel is going to be huge.
Yeah, I think it's going to be huge.
It's definitely a cool bag. I know the audience can't see the bag, but they're showing me the bag. Tell everybody what the bag looks like. The bag alone, that's the whole thing about marketing, is you got to have something that's going to grab people's attention and something that people are going to relate to. And I'm looking at this bag and I'm thinking truck drivers are going to love it.
That's exactly right. Hunter and I we went to a grocery store and we're like, all right, we're gonna close our eyes and we're gonna walk down the coffee aisle, and then we're gonna open our eyes, and then the first bag we see, we're gonna go to it and we're gonna like just study it and like why did we go towards that bag? And so we opened it up and we ended up going towards this bag. It had a big like blue octopus on it, and like I'm like, oh yeah, it just had a cool design, and that's when we kind of got the idea. I'm like, we need to have our own design that's unique to our brand and the truckers of America, and so kind of intertwining that, and we found our design, so it was nice.
Yes, it just pops out. It has a trucker that is a skeleton, so perfect for a Halloween season. And it has stacks in the background with the roasted in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And it says our motto on it is fatigue, never heard of her. Prepare for your mind to be blown with our most caffeinated coffee. Liquid diesel is our fast-paced, high-energy go-go juice. Ignite your body, mind, and soul with a flaming hot cup of liquid diesel. So, liquid diesel, I can't wait.
I think that's perfect. It in my brain with the stacks that are on there, I envision when you go to a truck show, what all the drivers like to see, the stacks with the flames shooting out the top, and you got your skeleton driver, and he's flying down the road with the stacks of fire running down the road. And not that drivers drive like that, they don't, they're super careful. They're not driving 100 miles an hour down the road. But they have a mission to complete, and on the inside there's that fire and excitement to get the load delivered and to get it there. safely. And it's got the flag on it as well, American flag on it, which is very cool.
So if the truckers are tired, I mean, liquid diesel is the way to go. You can you could
But
finish.
until then, you have the medium roast out that people can go ahead and try and start loving and enjoying.
Oh, the medium roast is amazing too. We've had nothing but good reviews about our medium roast.
Yeah.
The bag design, I'm gonna be honest, it's not as cool, but the coffee inside is still just amazing. So you definitely take pride.
That's a good foot in the door for us to kind of like. I think honestly, this past year has just been a foot in the door for us. Really, just kind of opening ourselves up to new avenues and people. And it's definitely been a big eye opener, like getting our bag out there for the first time. Hunter and I were just like, I think we sat there for like hours just staring at all the boxes and the bags just for hours. We're just like, wow. Like,
I have a bag right next to my nightstand. We put it there tonight, so just sleeping with a bag of Big Rig.
Yeah.
Well, is it like this realization of, we've wanted this and we've worked really hard to get here and finally it's here. That had to be pretty cool to see all those bags of coffee, and this is real. We've really done it. We've really made it happen.
Yeah, we did something nothing. Yeah, we turned Big Rig into, an actual physical product, and it was nothing before. So
yeah, it's awesome.
It's got to be pretty cool to see an idea come to full fruition, and that's what this country is all about. Small business. That's what small trucking companies. That's the backbone of America. It's the small trucking companies and small businesses. That's what this country runs on.
Yeah. Sure.
That's fantastic. So you guys have an awesome social media presence. You guys do some super fun things on TikTok.
Yeah.
Tell us about your fun promotions and your thought process behind those fun TikToks. Oh, they do some crazy stuff. They wear wigs and everything else on there with fun promotions on TikTok.
Yeah, so it's our alter egos. So we got Hunter, he's Tony, and I'm Shane. So we kind of just play off of those characters. And Hunter, you want to talk about Tony because you know more about it than I do.
Like Tony just has a mind of his own, so it's just like I don't know how to explain Tony. Like I can't act like Tony unless I put the wig on. So.
Alter ego.
Yeah, exactly. But Tony's awesome. It's just like I envision him as like a trucker that's been in the trucking industry for a long time, and he's just a badass. So that's how I envision Tony. He's a jack of all trades. He can do anything. So
plumber, trucker,
whatever he wants to do.
Everything.
And what's Shane's part in that?
So Shane's like he's like the hippie kind of guy. Like it's like it's cool, man. Like just drive the truck, dude. Just drink some coffee, drink some Big Rig, man. You'll be all right. Type of vibe, and just more like laid back and just like little things going wrong in his house. He doesn't know what to do, so he calls up Tony, and Tony comes in, just guns a-blazing, and ready to fix it with some Big Rig or whatever. Just some funny skits we're trying to do with that. So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's so fun. Just like our whole TikTok, I don't even know what we're doing on there. We're just making fun videos.
Yeah.
Well, that's what TikTok's all about.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love it. I see them on there come across my TikTok feed. So my For You page, and I follow you guys. So if you haven't connected with these guys, definitely a TikTok presence that is fun and funny. So you definitely want to connect there. Where else can people find you guys on social media?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah. So we're pretty scattered. So our main two social medias are TikTok and Instagram. So you can find us on TikTok at Big Rig Coffee Company, and then Instagram is Big Rig Coffee Co. We're also on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So Twitter we don't really use too much. Facebook is the same. We're active, but we're not really engaging as much. But YouTube, we're trying to post on there more, and everything. You can find us on all those at Big Rig Coffee Company. So if you just type that in, we'll pop right up. So
awesome. So go find them there. Guys, we're going to hop out, take our final break of the show, and we'll be right back to close out with Hunter and Gabe from Big Rig Coffee Company here on TNCRadio.live.
Catch Landline Now every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, along with an encore presentation weekdays at noon, right here on TNCRadio.live.
TNCRadio.live, your commercial driver navigation station.
Trucking Moves America Forward, or TMAF, is boosting the image of the industry by telling the story of trucking, and your story can be part of it. Upload a photo, tell us what you love about trucking, or send us a story about a good deed or charitable act in trucking. Be sure to follow us on social media and contact us through truckingmovesamerica.com. That's truckingmovesamerica.com.
Put it in reverse gear for the Memory Makers Thursdays at 8, 7 Central on TNCRadio.live.
That's right. I'm not a spring chicken anymore, but hey, I'm doing good. I went in for a full physical yesterday, requirement by my insurance company, and the doctor was like, "Wow, you're doing good." So I was glad. I was very happy to hear that.
Well, good. Yeah.
Yeah. Lost some weight. Blood looked good. So yeah, all good.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. I also had a doctor appointment yesterday and went in, and it was one of those appointments, bend over and cough and all that kind of worst dentist ever, I'm telling you. Jamie, how are we looking out there on traffic? I think you had some updates for us while we were on break this week.
For the latest in traffic, weather, and information, catch the Morning Grind weekdays on TNCRadio.live.
Hello, everybody. This is Todd Dewey from the hit show Ice Road Truckers on the History Channel. And my source of radio and all truckers news, I go to TNCRadio.live.
Okay, guys, we're back for our final segment. Still closing out our conversation with Hunter and Gabe from Big Rig Coffee. So we've covered all the coffee stuff, I think, except for how did you choose your medium roast? How did you choose the first roast that you wanted to put out? How did that process go?
Yeah, so we first found so we were kind of asking families and friends at first, what kind of coffee they like, because I know coffee I like, but I want to get other people's opinions and what have you. So a lot of people were leaning more towards like a light roast or a medium roast or decaf or something. I didn't really find a whole lot of people that like just straight dark roasts, but so we ended up hitting up a supplier, and they sent us a bunch of samples. And what I did was I would grind up all the beans, and I put them all in little bags, and I would just be giving them out to friends and family. I'm like, hey, try this. Let me know what you think. And then a majority came back with the medium roast. So I talked with Hunter about it because he was doing the same thing, and we both kind of just came to the conclusion. I'm like, yeah, that'd be a good middle ground, literally and metaphorically. It'd be a good middle ground, to start with for our company. So we end up going with that.
Yeah. Very cool. I think most people do drink a medium or a breakfast blend, something like that. That's, definitely, I'm glad you didn't start with a decaf. That's for sure.
Oh,
yeah.
Are you considering a decaf somewhere down the line?
That's last on the list, probably.
Okay.
It would go liquid diesel, then maybe like a normal dark roast, because liquid diesel is a dark roast, but it's not a normal dark roast because it's highly caffeinated. Then probably like a normal dark roast, a light roast, obviously a medium roast, and then a decaf.
Yeah. Then after liquid diesel, we really, really want to get into K-Cups. That's definitely an untouched market that we're trying to get into, because 40% of the market uses K-Cups, and so if we're not even tapping into that a little bit, we're missing out on a lot of traction. So we definitely need to get into that. We want to. We're trying to. It's in the works.
Have you ever seen those Grinds coffee pouches?
Yes, Grinds is actually one of our sponsors at St. Christopher Fund for our Rigs Without Cigs program for drivers that are trying to quit smoking or dipping. They have little coffee pouches, and a lot of drivers use those in
Yeah.
place of their dip or cigarette.
Yeah. So we
My
were trying.
husband actually uses them. He's not a smoker. He just likes them because, it's an extra boost of coffee while he's driving.
Yeah, so we had made a TikTok a while back, and like, cause I used to pouch, and so like with the Zyn pouches, so I think we had like taken the logo off and slapped the Big Rig on there just for fun, and like we got like actually like a lot of like feedback from that. They're like, oh, you guys are coming out with coffee pouches, and we're like, I didn't even know that was a thing. So I was like, we and Hunter were like, what? Like, so we were kind of doing our own research about it, and it was actually really cool. We're like, so we're definitely gonna be looking into that as well. So
that's hard though. I've tried everything to be able to get those. I have no idea how. If there's not even a supplier out there that I can find to be able to do Grinds coffee.
I had to get the machine, I think.
You'd have to buy the machine. And
Yeah.
I've looked everywhere.
We need that.
So that would be an investment for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a hold of Grinds Coffee and have them do a Big Rig edition, because they do that for another company. They do like
They might could do that. Well, I can give you the connection on who to talk to over there about that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you get ready for that, that might definitely be an option. Yeah.
Sure.
Awesome. That'd be so awesome.
That's cool. And I was going to ask about the K-Cup, so I'm glad you went there because that's what I use at home, obviously. I mean, I'm not a truck driver. I'm not on the road, and, they may not use the K-Cups, but so many people do use the K-Cups. And my Keurig, I've got the little, the adapter thing where I can use bagged coffee with it, but, it's a little more work, first world problems, right? But it's a little more work to use the bagged coffee, but that's okay. But, I do wonder, and maybe that's something I'll have to do some research on, how many truck drivers have a Keurig or some kind of coffee maker in their truck, or do they just rely on getting the coffee as they go to the fuel stops? Do you guys have any stats on that?
I did. I don't remember what it was though.
You looking it up? It was like because we didn't think there would be any, but then like we talked to this trucker on TikTok, and he was telling us that people have that or they have it they have like either the Keurig, or it's mostly Keurigs, just kind of like one of those mobile. I think I've seen them on Amazon, like little mobile Keurigs even too. Like you just sit, and they have all those in their trucks, and that was honestly kind of surprising to me because I didn't know that, but. We're just definitely trying to lean more towards convenience, especially for truck drivers on the road, where, instead of having to like stop, find a parking space, go inside the store, get coffee, they can just, maybe just pull over the side of the road, brew something up real quick, and just keep going. So.
You'd be surprised at what's in these trucks, though. These are drivers' homes away from home, so they like to have as many conveniences in there as possible. So. I'll say to the audience, if any of you guys are ladies or drivers out there, hop over and let Gabe and Hunter know if you use a Keurig in your truck. That would be interesting information to know. I venture to say more probably do than we think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just go to our website and then go to our contact us portion of it, and then just write us an email and let us know. I'm actually curious, so.
Yeah, for sure. If you're on TikTok, comment on a video or something too. So tell everybody what your website is as well.
Go ahead.
It's bigrigcoffeecompany.com. No funny words, no funny letters, just straight bigrigcoffeecompany.com.
Yeah, we tried to get the domain Big Rig Coffee, but someone already has it, so we had to go Big Rig Coffee Company. I know it's a lot to write, but
some blog company or something.
Just a few extra characters. bigrigcoffeecompany.com. And you can order your coffee right there as well. Tell people how they order and the options. Don't you guys you can order a single bag, but don't you have a subscription as well, like where you can get it shipped to you monthly?
We did. So we haven't got enough sales yet for people to start subscribing. It's like there's like a big monthly subscription fee that we have to pay for. So once we start getting more and more orders, we're going to go back to doing subscriptions. But you can find us on our website. And we're also, I'm working on this. Like, I was literally working on this today. We're trying to get on Amazon. So it's going to be awesome because a lot of people use Amazon. It's easy. You just click buy. So that's our next thing.
That's correct. And, you know, truckers, best truckers delivering Amazon products.
Exactly. They deliver everything.
They deliver everything. We depend on them for everything. And Gabe and Hunter want to support this industry and give back to this industry with your own personalized coffee brand.
Yep.
Exactly. Big
Love
rooftop.
it.
We're the truckers.
That's right.
Yep.
Well, I sure appreciate you guys taking the time to share with me again and with our audience about Big Rig Coffee. Now is your chance, ladies and gentlemen, if you are listening, bigrigcoffeecompany.com. Go place your order for their medium roast. Get your sneak peek for the breaking news of the new diesel-powered Go-Go juice that will be available in 2023. You don't want to miss that. You get a sneak peek of what the bag looks like. Again, it is very cool, and I think it's going to appeal a whole lot to the trucking industry. It's going to be an eye catcher on the bag. So thank you guys for spending some time with me today and sharing with my listeners about your company.
Oh, thank you. I love being, on these podcasts. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you guys have a great day. Try not to freeze out there. I'll try to send some of my warm weather out there to y'all because I could take about 10 degrees cooler. I'm just going to be honest with you.
I could take 10 degrees warmer, so I appreciate that.
All right. You guys have a great rest of your week, and we'll be sharing more as this company continues to grow. Big Rig Coffee Company, Hunter and Gabriel, military-owned company. Military veteran-owned company. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us today here on TNCRadio.live. I'm your host, Shannon Courier, and we will be back next Tuesday. Have a great rest of your week. Say hello to someone. Shake somebody's hand and say a kind word to somebody. Be positive influence on somebody this week, and we'll talk to you next time.
Do you have the TNCRadio.live app? It's free and easy to download. Just go to app.tncradio.live, Google Play, or the App Store. Get access to live streaming radio developed by drivers for drivers. Download the TNCRadio.live app today.
Don't forget, you can hear all of our TNC Radio primetime shows again on our podcasts. Just go to tncradio.live/podcasts or search for tncradio.live wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Shelley Johnson with Kathy Tuccaro. You can hear us Tuesdays on tncradio.live at 8 p.m. Eastern on Women Road Warriors. And don't miss Steve Summers' Overnight Drive right here on tncradio.live, weeknights midnight to 5 a.m. Eastern. Brought to you by Hot Shot Secret.